Sad Satan is a dark web horror game created by ZK and has become a huge phenomenon on the YouTube horror sphere. Mutahar, Wendigoon, TheGamerFromMars, even edgy Tryhard Chris Hansen have made videos that have gotten millions of views on this very controversial game. I'm sure if you clicked on this video, you probably already know what Sad Satan is, but here's a hot take for you all. I don't think it's scary at all. Yeah, there are some versions of the game that contain very illegal material, which should have never been there in the first place. But if you really think about it and look at the gameplay, I don't think Sad Satan as a horror game is scary at all. Let's start off with Sad Satan's first appearance on the YouTube channel Obscure Horror Corner, which I will call OHC for short. And let's take a look at the 4 gameplay videos that introduced the whole internet to Sad Satan. Now, the video leaves a very good first impression by just having the player walk down a dark corridor. First of all, it's so damn dark that you can't even see anything that's going on in the game, so you just gotta keep pressing W and hoping that things get interesting soon. And then eventually, after several minutes, the corridor starts turning to this staticky, hellish black and white with the background noise starting to amp up. Now, sure, I will admit the background noises and the music and everything kind of gives me a little bit of heebie-jeebies, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got this weird wibbly-wobbly sound that activates Mutahar's gag reflex. Whole bunch of reversed and randomly pitched sounds, a classic in internet horror. It gets old pretty fast. Time to wrap it up. It's starting to get annoying listening to this for like 20 minutes at a time, Now, some of these randomly slowed down songs include songs from The Doors and Led Zeppelin. Even got audio snippets from news media outlet interviews where they interview people such as Charles Manson. So while you're just walking around, you just hear, "So, why'd you name your cult the Manson family?" Well, it's because it's my name, and I consider my members part of my family. You got the reverse version of the Hong Kong 97 song, which low-key is a banger. There's also a reverse part of Stairway to Heaven, which makes it sound like Robert Plant is singing Sad Satan, which is kind of cool, I will admit. I'll give the game that. You've been probably noticing the absolutely captivating gameplay that's been going on in the background right now. Nothing more fun than just walking. Shit, if I did this much walking, I'd probably lose like 20 pounds right now. Now, for the second and third video, the game starts introducing these jump scare images, random pictures that just pop up on your screen with no context, no real way for the player to trigger them either. And at first, these jump scare images seem to have really no correlation at all. Why is there a pic of JFK in the motorcade before he gets whacked? Why is there a pic of Margaret Thatcher with some old ass looking dude? Why is Slender Man just standing in the hallway covered in deer antlers? Now, the player continues to meander around the darkness. Got some little ghost kids loitering around the corner. Soon, the corridors start turning red and the audio starts to get louder, starts spamming more of those Charles Manson snippets. This guy's pictures start showing up a lot, who, by the way, is Tsutomu Miyazaki, aka the Otaku Killer, who did a lot of horrific and terrible things that I really don't want to talk about right now to 4 underage Tokyo girls before murdering them back in 1988, 1989. Now, just so you know, there is no endgame, no real ending to Sad Satan. OHC never really showed the ending of Sad Satan because they just stopped uploading videos after the 4th Sad Satan video. The last video just ends with a quote-unquote jump scare of Miyazaki before they just MS painted his eyes black, ending the video. And I'm assuming if OHC were to continue uploading videos, it'd probably just be him just walking around these dark corridors and, oh yeah, here's a little fucking picture. Let's be honest with ourselves. From what you've seen so far, do you really think this game is scary? Like, I understand I'm just showing a little bit of snippets of OHC's videos and stuff, but there really isn't much else to see aside from what I just shown you. I mean, you could watch all 4 videos for yourself and, make your own judgment based on that. Like, most of the spooky things that just happen in this game are just some disembodied kidsy ghost shit floating around. Oh, they're playing songs in reverse like in Ben Brown. Oh, it's so dark I can't see anything. Oh my god, Margaret Thatcher's on my screen again. I played Roblox games that have given me more of a scare than this. Who the fuck are you? Oh, you're Jeff the Killer? Oh! Sure, I guess the images and the connection to IRL child predators provides something to think about. You know, you could argue that there's more substance to this game. It's clear that the game's themes revolve around child essay and just doing terrible things to kids in general. Like, for example, the old guy with Thatcher in this picture, that's Jimmy Savile, a prolific English TV host and DJ who essayed a bunch of kids, which tanked his career. Now, I think because this game was from the deep web, you know, and the themes involving children and stuff, I think that was the reason why it sparked so much interest in the YouTube horror scene, and plenty of content creators have made tons of videos talking about this game. You know, Sad Satan has been around for a long time, like over 10 years. I remember first hearing about the game when Mudahar made his video about it back in 2014. And sure, back when I was 12 years old, I thought this game was scary as shit. A game from the deep web? Ain't that the part of the internet where you can order kilos of nose candy and hire hitmen and all that? And like, so many people just keep talking about how, oh, this game is so spooky because it came from the deep web, deep this. Hey, newsflash everyone, you've been using the deep web this whole time and you probably didn't even know it. Now, the deep web is basically just parts of the internet that aren't indexed by search engines, right? So any part of a website where you have to provide login information is technically part of this dark and mysterious deep web. I mean, you wouldn't want anyone to just log into your bank account through a Google search, right? Of course, there's still tons of illegal activity happening on the deep web, and I'm sure there are plenty of other Sad Satan-esque games that have not been yet discovered. So yeah, OHC's Sad Satan videos have garnered a lot of interest from horror YouTubers. Even Kotaku interviewed OHC, where they discussed the game further in detail. I believe that if it was just OHC's video that got viral, I think Sad Satan would probably be a little bit of a footnote in the internet horror sphere, you know? Like, yeah, oh, it's just some, you know, weird little dark web game, you know? Nothing too crazy. But unfortunately, it's just not a footnote. It's a whole goddamn novel with the next version that we're talking about.
Now that's edgy as fuck!
So it turns out there are multiple versions of Sad Satan, and now we're gonna talk about the other, more insane version of Sad Satan. Yeah, I'm talking about the clone version, which was made available on 4chan's paranormal board after ZK, the true creator of Sad Satan, claimed that OHC was hiding certain things and provided a download link to this clone version. Now, ZK has made some very disturbing modifications in comparison to what OHC showed in the videos, and these modifications mostly consisted of them changing some of the jump scare images into extremely graphic imagery and straight up illegal content. Yeah, they changed it to gore and CP.
What the fuck is that?
This is the point where things just went too goddamn far. Like, this is what a 14-year-old who watched too many Leafy videos back in the day thinks is scary. I wonder if ZK ever got served his justice, considering the fact they literally distributed highly illegal content on a public image board website. This is super fucked up. Adding CP, pictures of dudes getting ripped in half, and malware just to make your shitty Unity acid flip game scary, you're just trying too goddamn hard to be edgy, bro. Oh, did I mention you can get malware from this game? Yeah, so apparently some people who got too curious and wanted to play the game unfortunately used download links that maliciously added a malware-riddled version of Sad Satan, causing their PCs to be infected with tons of malware. This whole thing, it's not scary, it's stupid and wrong. So please, for the love of God, do not download this game, bro. Even if there are so-called clean versions that are available to play, I do not recommend downloading this game because all the illegal material and the viruses and whatnot. And there are plenty of people who on YouTube that have already done Let's Play videos of Sad Satan and exposing themselves to this kind of shit. It seems that a lot of these content creators and streamers are playing a version of Sad Satan where they remove all the illegal material but still get jump scared by people becoming meat crayons. It's most likely either the itch.io or the Game Jolt version of Sad Satan, as they still retain the graphic jump jump scares. This clone version of Sad Satan really cemented it in infamy. There are so many videos of people talking about this
forbidden game from the dark web that
if you play or watch this game, you're gonna go to jail and probably hell too. The internet's most dangerous rabbit hole. The sinister case of Sad Satan. The internet's most infamous game. And especially when Sad Satan was getting popular, the deep web was probably at its peak in terms of YouTube relevancy. So many videos were coming out of people talking about and exploring the deep web. Budahar had his Sunday deep web browsing video series. Let Me Know released a whole ass documentary about the deep web. Etika did a live stream where he did a little deep web spelunking and got some escorts. Even news media outlets were just yapping about the deep and dark web, you know, particularly Silk Road, an online market where you can just shop for things that'll get you fentanyl in a San Francisco neighborhood. Seriously, the original version that OHC showed wasn't even that scary, just walking down dark hallways with some loud ass noise in the background, blowing your eardrums off. But now with this clone version, it does a complete 180 where it just tries way too hard to be edgy and disturbing, just putting insane pictures up into your eyeballs without any nuance or any good reason at all. Shit's like The Painter, except 10 times worse. Sad Satan. He's sad because he ain't scaring shit. I bet he wishes he could be scared like this bag of horrors I just whipped up right now. There was a clean version of Sad Satan available for download for a while now. It's Sad Satan with all the graphic imagery, illegal material, and malware removed. Now, this clean version was meant to provide a way for everyone to try out the game for themselves, you know, if you want to walk around dark corridors all day. It was developed by members of the r/Sad Satan subreddit, although it is noted that u/BlindStark did most of the development. Now, this post from a Reddit mod basically sums up the development of this version pretty well. The Sad Satan community, namely BlindStark, carefully downloaded the game, replaced the gore and CP images with other mundane pictures, and pulled the rest of the game files into Terror Engine, and released a second executable. This executable does not appear to harm the user's machine in any way. The clean version was completed, and it was available on the subreddit for a while up until August 2020. One of the mods announced that the clean version was deleted by the file hosting platform they use for seemingly unknown reasons. They asked members, including BlindStark, if they can re-upload the game. However, it seems that no one has any local copies, meaning that this clean version is potentially lost media. Ooh, there's another buzzword for the YouTube algorithm. Which is why, again, do not download any versions of Sad Satan available on the internet. I wouldn't even trust the GameJolt and itch.io versions, especially if you don't want to see dudes turn into Play-Doh in front of your eyes. Unless BlindStark or someone else from the r/Sad Satan community can provide a link to this clean version, I doubt that any of us will be able to play any variation of Sad Satan with the peace of mind that you won't see crazy shit and won't have your computer infected as well. Sad Satan is just some shallow attempt at someone trying to make an edgy, deep web game for views and attention, and it worked. YouTubers milked the shit out of this game for years now, making videos talking about how terrifying the game is and, oh wow, this deep web game is so dark and avant-garde and deep and mysterious. I mean, hell, I'll be there to drain the teat. I'm no better than these YouTubers. That's why I'm making this video in the first place. And you could argue the themes of them exposing pedos and child abuse add some complexity to the game and its overall message. And I guess you could argue that if OHC's version was the only version of Sad Satan available, with none of that stupid crap on screen, even then, the game basically telling everyone that abusing kids is bad, it's nothing interesting. Like, yeah, no shit. Now, there's been a lot of speculation on whether or not OHC was the real creator of Sad Satan. It's possible that they could have created this whole elaborate story of this game coming from the deep web and everything to increase its virality potential and boost the channel's popularity. I mean, maybe they want to start an ARG and maybe the 4 videos could, you know, just simply be like some creepypasta mysterious story and everything. I mean, it's worked. I mean, like I said, it worked. A lot of people have been talking about this game, but that brings up an important question. Who the hell made that clone version with all that crazy stuff on screen? Was it OHC? Did OHC literally just distribute illegal material on the internet? I mean, they stopped uploading after they busted out those 4 Assassin videos. No one knows who ZK is, and maybe he went on the run after the clone version got leaked. Like, shit, it makes sense to me, right? Because why would you do that? Why would you make that kind of stuff in the first place, you know? And oh, jeez, what just happened? What the hell?
Like, I'm just fucking lonely. I want to just fucking stream and have a good time.
Are you Sad Satan?
Yeah, bro. They call me Sassy, bro. Because, you know, it gets really lonely down here, man. Like,
You want to be my friend?
really? I mean, that'd be cool, I guess. Yeah.
Alright, let's get the hell out of here.
Raindrops are falling on my head.
Come on, man.
And just like the guys here too.
Oh, yeah!
Is bad. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head. They keep falling.
Alright. Yo, check this place out. This is my little secret spot, Sad Satan.
Wow, this is a really nice place, you know, it's like in color and everything.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be outside of that hellhole once in a while, you know?
Yeah, I guess that's true, man. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me, you know, not a lot of people like me.
You know what? I'm glad I could make you happy, bro. You shouldn't be called Sassy. You're more like Chill Satan now, you know what I mean?
Thanks, man. You chill out too. Let's just observe the vibes for a while. Can I suck your dick?
What?